You're better than the best. I'm lucky just to linger in your light. Cooler than the flip side of my pillow. That's right. Completely unaware. Nothing can compare to where you send me. Lets me know that it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. In the moments when my good times start to fade, you make me smile like the sun, fall out of bed, sing like a bird, dizzy in my head, spin like a record, crazy on a Sunday night. You make me dance like a fool, forget how to breathe, shine like gold, buzz like a bee. Just the thought of you can drive me wild. Oh, you make me smile. Even when you're gone, somehow you come along just like a flower poking through the sidewalk crack. And just like that, you steal away the rain. And just like that, you make me smile like the sun, fall out of bed, sing like a bird, dizzy in my head, spin like a record, crazy on a Sunday night. You make me dance like a fool, forget how to breathe, shine like gold, buzz like a bee. Just the thought of you can drive me wild. Oh, you make me smile. Don't know how I live without you, 'cause every time that I get around you, I see the best of me inside your eyes. You make me smile. You make me dance like a fool, forget how to breathe, shine like gold, buzz like a bee. Just the thought of you can drive me wild. You make me smile like the sun, fall out of bed, sing like a bird, dizzy in my head, spin like a record, crazy on a Sunday night. You make me dance like a fool, forget how to breathe, shine like gold, buzz like a bee. Just the thought of you can drive me wild. Oh, you make me smile.
You make me smile.
Oh, you make me smile.
You make me smile.
Oh, you make me smile.
Hello, everybody. You can hear me, but apparently I'm unable to share my video at the moment. So let me look in real fast because it says the host has stopped it and the host is me. Super fun times. Hey, Malika, can you make,
Are you?
I'm the
I just made you
co-host.
co-host. Did that work?
Let's try it again.
All
Thank you for
right.
your patience, everybody. Oh, good.
There
There I
we
am. Sorry,
go.
guys. We have fun this way. It's like it keeps us on our toes. Well, welcome, everybody. Yay, here I am. And if you're wondering why I'm such a natural face today, is I figured I'm going to indulge in a little self-care later today. Got a little facial steamer and micro needling, a face mask. So I'm going to go right from that to this. So make sure you got your journal, you got something to write with, and probably something to drink if you're one of those people who loves your washi tape and your stickers and all that jazz. Grab it. If not, a pencil works just as well. And let's go ahead and get started. Make sure that everybody is set to everyone so that we can see all your amazing comments in the chat. And know that just by being here that you are entered into that self-care raffle, so you don't need to do anything else. I am your facilitator today. My name is Karen, and I see some familiar names in there. And I'm just so excited to get started with you guys today. I had a beautiful afternoon. I'm not gonna lie, yesterday I stayed in bed for like 4 hours. I caught up on 10 episodes of daily rituals and getting my journal set up, and it was glorious. So I do want to just give their little plug. I know you guys are always looking for pins that do not bleed through. And I'm gonna say this brand I got off Amazon. It's SIPA, SIPA, and they're literally 18 in a package, and it was less than $9. And I'm finding that it does not bleed through at all. I'm not getting paid by them or anything. I'm just pretty happy about my pens. Amber, you got these too. You like them, right? It's a nice thin tip. I'm trying to see. So I think my handwriting actually looks better with it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dig in. Apparently a lot of you like those pens too. So our month's theme is adoration. And I know some of you are having a hard time relating to this theme. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little hesitant about it myself. So I'm gonna tell you how it is that is working for me of thinking of it. A lot of times people think of this as kind of a religious concept, and I am not super religious. And so I'm thinking it as adore. And I'm going to focus this month on adoring myself or romancing myself in that way. So I'm going to share some things about here about what it might actually look like to romance yourself or feel adoring towards yourself. I have a couple of pictures up here, and it's some examples of some things that I've recently done for myself. On the right here, I actually bought myself some Forever Roses. Most of you probably have heard of it before. I had not. Basically, you keep them in this cute little box, and they last for a year or longer because they've replaced all the moisture with wax. And so I bought myself, nothing that's big and luxurious because they're not cheap. But on Etsy, I got myself a little one to sit on top of my desk. And another thing that I did is I bought myself a little diamond rope, and I bought it with a red cord. And it symbolizes to me the red velvet rope for myself of only allowing people into my life. They're going to treat me well, and I get the same from them as they do for me. So that's how it is that I'm thinking of it. Now, buying stuff is nice, but sometimes we don't necessarily have the budget for those. So what are some things that you can do to really elevate your treating yourself? And sometimes to me, it's literally just not eating over the sink. Like, when you are making that plate of sandwich for company, your kids, your husband, whoever it is, and you actually literally put it on a plate, but when it's yourself and you eat it over the sink. So, putting it on the nice plate, definitely, like, that's one thing that you can do. Taking time to make the good coffee. Like, I have this old school espresso maker that, the stovetop kind that you put on top, and I have a little coffee foamer as well. And a lot of times I would do it for someone else, but I won't take the time to do it for myself. So romancing myself is something along those lines. Another example, if you've been with me since Christmas, I am loving herbal teas right now. And I elevated my little tea infuser, and I swear I love it because it has the little plate on it. So all of these things are things that you can do to kind of elevate. Amber, I think a lot of us have a tough relationship with food. That's why I like the herbal tea so much, right? Because it's not caffeinated, doesn't have calories. It's completely and totally luxurious, but 100% guilt-free. Getting yourself flowers. I love Trader Joe's. I love buying those little orchids for like $7, and they last for a couple of months. Making a lot of the things that we do on for self-care with Silk and Saunders, writing those letters to ourselves are absolutely awesome. Changing the linens on your bed, making your bed. Personally, I like to burrito, so I don't like literally burrito in my comforter. So that for me is not, but for a lot of people, that seems to be, getting a good book from the library and allowing yourself the time to read, making yourself that tea and allowing yourself to sit and look out the window without anything else. So it doesn't have to be related to food. It doesn't have to be anything that costs money to be able to romance yourself. So those are just some ideas to be able to look at it. And Gina, you're not alone about eating mac and cheese out of the pot. I've definitely done that, and especially with ramen. So that's the way that I'm choosing to interpret this month's theme. It may work for you, it may not. Either way, it's perfectly okay. So our agenda for tonight is that we are going to do our thematic activity. We're going to look at that weekly setup, and then we're going to close out. So go ahead and turn into a blank note page in your journal. If you're someone who has already filled out all of your blank pages, a scratch sheet of paper, or even if you are not using, like sometimes on Sunday, it may not use this section, something like that will absolutely work as well. So we're going to dive into one of my absolute favorite topics, the 5 love languages. Is there anybody here who's not familiar with the love languages? Anybody? Oh, so a couple of you are not. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to really be very vulnerable here. I got married at 23 years old, not very long after my mom had passed away. I had not been dating my husband less than a year and exclusively less than 6 months when we got married. Very young. I was in graduate school. He was interning. And this book literally saved my marriage because I kept doing all these things for him. And even though that's the way I like to have love expressed to me, it wasn't the way that worked for him, and vice versa. And so by learning about each other, it really did help, because that way I was expressing my love to him in a way that was communicating to him. If you have not done the quiz, our stage manager is going to throw the link in it. Don't do it right now. Maybe after we get started on this activity, you can do it. So Malika's thrown it up there, and this is a way you're able to look at it. And there is absolutely, Candace, you're right. There is a college age version and a kids version you can do, taking the quiz for them. And the quiz is absolutely free. So there are 5 love languages. Ones are words of affirmations, valuing those verbal, I love yous, compliments, words of appreciation, encouragement. It might be a text or a letter or sticky note, something like that. So some people really love this form of love. Number 2, quality time. Showing that, like, the time you spend together, that is really important to them. They love it when they're active listening, eye contact, full presence, those types of things. And you know what, Carla, if this doesn't relate to you, it's okay. Like, feel free to do something else. This is your social, whatever works for you. There's no judgment on my part. Number 3, acts of service. Doing something for someone else. Like, I came home, I taught 2 Pilates classes this morning before I was getting ready for the social. And my husband went to the store, got stuff to be able to make us beautiful sandwiches. That's like an act of service. He's hanging up some pictures that he gave me for Christmas, those types of things. Gifts. No, this is my love language for sure. It's like, I love those little tokens of affection. It might be, a candy bar. It might be the flowers. It might be, it can be anything. It might be cake. Elizabeth, yes, if it's cake, I'm definitely down for that. And then the 5th one is physical touch. It can be cuddling, holding hands. It could be kissing. It could be, like any of it. Just depends on where it is that you are and who that relationship is, because I don't think I'm kissing my BFF, but we like to give hugs and such like that. So those are the 5. And Shanika, I definitely find that I've shifted some over the years, because in this July, I'll be married 19 years. And I feel like I've gone more the way that he likes to express it, and he may have come. So we're kind of meeting in the middle a little bit. So what I want you to do on your notepad page is to write down words of affirmation, acts of service, physical touch, gifts, quality time. And then I want you to come up with ways that you would love to have it expressed to you, and how you might express it to someone else. And if you're familiar with the love languages and you know which one you are, go ahead and give it a little circle or a highlight. So I'm gonna put some music on. I'm gonna give you a little bit of time to be able to work on this. And we'll come back and feel free to share in the chat. Somebody might feel a little blocked with this. And if you do, that inspiration may just really resonate with them. So, Brenda, we're writing down those 5 types, which are on the left-hand side, how you would like it to be communicated to you, and how you might communicate it to someone you love. So there we go. I'm going to turn my camera off, turn a little music on, and let you guys get started. Welcome back, everyone. It seems like you've either loved or hated this activity, and it's totally okay for you to feel that way. Either way, there's no right or wrong way to feel. And as our facilitator, Katie says, she's not in her headspace to do this right now. So she would was working on her color page, and that's okay too. It's your time. You set this time aside for yourself. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in to our weekly planner. So, if you've been with us for a while, this is going to be a familiar topic for you. It is on page 30 of your journal. It's at the very bottom of the page, and it is rose, bud, and thorn. The rose are the things that are going really well in your life. The bud is something that has potential, and that thorn is exactly what it sounds like, something that's not going as well, or like a thorn in your side. So I'm going to give you an example for myself. So my rose this week is I set a boundary. I've been sick and I'm not feeling well, and I got a sub for one of my classes tomorrow because I knew that I would not make it through teaching 6 or 7 classes tomorrow. So that's my rose. My bud is that I had a CAT scan done, and it looks like everything is normal and clear there. So that's good as well. And the thorn is that I still am not feeling 100%. So that's going to give you, I'm sick. I've been sick since New Year's Eve. I've been with you so many times and I'm still not feeling 100%. So there you go. That's my rosebud thorn. I'm going to give you an opportunity to fill it out with a quick song in your journal, and we'll be back in a minute. Feel free to share as much or as little as you like in that chat. Thanks everybody for the love about my health. It seems like a lot of people are having a lot of wonderful things. And Jen, I'm so sorry about your thorn. That's a huge one. You will be in our thoughts. A cancer diagnosis is never fun. Someone said that they literally had no thorn. I wish that was me. Kim said her COVID test was negative. Woohoo! And not sure a thorn. Man, that's amazing. Let's see. Oh, Crystal, I'm sorry you had a kidney stone. That is not fun. Those are extremely painful. Rochelle's been working on forgiving herself and wrote letters of forgiveness to let go of stuff and then burn them all up. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing. Rose Amber says that her neighbor near me has a Harry Potter themed street names. Oh, a neighborhood, not a neighborhood. That makes more sense. Awesome. Clarissa, 1 month gastric sleeve surgery post-op this week. Wow, congratulations. So all of these wonderful things that are absolutely happening, some things that are not so, and you know what? We don't get to experience the highs of life, and we don't experience the lows too. So because I want to make sure we have plenty of time to dig in and give you lots of time, I'm going to move us on into the weekly setup. This is not my page. It is way too pretty to be my page. If you posted in Silk and Saunders app last week with a photo, you may find one of your pages featured here today. So you can see this is beautiful. Someone's used some washi tape, some color, all of these things are wonderful, but a pencil works just as well. So the first page, oh, it's yours, Morgan. Yay. Awesome. It looks really nice. That's why I used it as my cover. So this week I want to feel. So for me this week, I chose the word glowing because that is my word of the year. And that's what I'm choosing to focus on, putting good food into my system, good exercise, skincare, the whole thing. I even got myself a cute little bracelet on Etsy and had them engrave glow on it. Less than $20. Such a nice reminder to be able to look down at it. So as I'm trying to get in the swing of things for this word for the year, I'm using it for my weekly one. But that doesn't have to be the way you look at how you want to feel. Our feelings wheel can always give us some ideas. How do you use it? You work from the inside out and find whichever word appeals to you. Now we're going to work on these pages one page at a time, but I'm going to give you a second to look at the wheel and see if you can identify a feeling if you're struggling with that. Crystal, glad you like the idea of the bracelet. For the past few years, I was going to PetSmart and getting a dog collar and engraving it and using it as a keychain. It was about the same price. And this is a constant reminder because I'm actually looking at it. So that's why I ended up choosing that. Okay, so now that you have figured out your word and you've written it down, we're going to dig into a little more of the meat of the week. Amber wants to feel accomplished. Good. I want to feel accomplished this week too. Triumphant. Yeah, sir. I love it. All these wonderful things. Melissa, I got it off Etsy. Just everything on Etsy. Always Etsy. So, loving all these words: present, ahead, inspired, safe, relaxed, all the good things. So then we're going to look at the section that is our weekly to-dos. This is not my favorite part of my journal because that list can get pretty long. So this is something that I have learned to look at the 3 Ds, to delete anything that you do not have to get done this week, to delegate to someone else. And that might be a TaskRabbit person. It might be a food box. It might be getting the delivery or picking up the food instead of going into the store or getting takeout one night. And then whatever you cannot delete or delegate, find whatever pleasure it is that you can in it. I have to do payroll and my job is head of Group X. I hate payroll because each and every type of class has a different code. And if someone teaches more than one code, they always get it wrong. So you know what I do? I put on a sheet mask. I put some good music. And if anyone walks into my office, I'm not going to apologize. I'm going to do whatever it is to be able to make that task that I don't love a little bit more fun. So I'm going to show you what my example looks like this week. And before I give you time to work on this section, I'm going to show you some other people's examples as well. So for me, I'm doing a favor for my work, even though I'm head of Group X. They need some help getting their summer camp up and running. So I need to get the supply list done for weeks 1 through 3. I need to test the recipe, not for this Saturday, but next Saturday for the cooking social. So I need to get the stuff for it. I need to try it out, make sure I know what I'm doing, so I don't make a fool in front of you guys. And then I also am still finishing my apparatus certification for Pilates. I already have my reformer and mat, but I actually need to book some people into the studio at a time that it's not busy for me to work with them. Fingers crossed I feel good enough to do it. So that's what my weekly to-dos look like. You may focus on things that are a little more fun, and I'll show you some examples of those too. Tiffany, happy 40th. Welcome to the club, girl. Weekly major 3 goals. When I write these goals, I like to go back and look at the work that I've done for the month already, my front loading, right? I like to look back at my intentions and habits. Sometimes when I'm later in the month, I'm finding that I had a habit that I'm not reaching or an intention that I'm struggling with. And sometimes I use those to be able to help create my goals. Some people, because they like the fun and whimsy, will create these goals in a bingo board. They might make a whole month of the goals that they want to get accomplished so they can mark them off as they go. Some people like to put those little stickers. Like I love the little stickers for the habit tracker. So fun. So those are some ways that you can look at the goals. I'll show you some more examples. So for me, my 3 goals this week is I want to learn 5 new Pilates moves to keep things fresh. I want to do some observations of Pilates while I'm cooking or doing laundry because I'm having a hard time fitting everything in. And that number 3, I want to make sure that I'm getting some time outside, getting the vitamin D and taking a few minutes to breathe. That's not related to work. So having my tea out on my front stoop in the morning, at least a couple of times. And even if I'm just taking my dogs out for 5 minutes to get just outside of the house. So those are what my goals look like this time. Habits and activities. I was listening to a podcast this morning that really resonated for me. And it talked about hard versus easy. And that in life, we do have to have the hard and the easy together, right? You're not going to recognize the easy if you don't have the hard. So when I make these choices for my habits or activities, I really try to see what would my future self think? Is this something that's hard that would make my life better for my future self? So an example of this, and I'm going to get really kind of vulnerable on this one, is that I'm not going to say my mom was a complete and total hoarder, but let's just say that our house was not in a place that I felt comfortable having company over. She'd take the spoon out of the spaghetti sauce, leave it on the counter and leave it there. Things would be piled up and etc. So for me, do I necessarily want to clean the kitchen every time I cook dinner? No. So easy would be to leave it. Hard would be to be able to fix it, right? To get cleaned up. But in the long run, my future self would be much happier with that clean kitchen. And it would be much easier to accomplish that goal because doing it, it's like those 10 loads of laundry that you need to put away all at once becomes so much harder. So that's the way I'm thinking of my habits. So, and I just want to give a little clarification that every moment is a new moment. And if you're finding that you have struggled with your habits last week, you get to do a U-turn and be able to turn yourself around and start fresh. So someone was talking about the habits versus the goals. Habits, I do like to, something I want to accomplish a couple of times a week. My goals are usually something I want to accomplish in my life, but not necessarily a habit, just something that I need to be able to get done. Anybody else wants to chime in how they do it into the chat, please do. So here are my habits here. Charm of the Room is a program that I'm going through once a week. Simple Pleasures is a book. It's like a page or two. I want to do that 7 days a week. I want to use my Calm app. I'm too ambitious thinking I'm going to get it done every week. So I'm setting a goal for 3 times a week. I'm wanting to do journaling daily, 7 days a week. My daily rituals, 7 days a week. Charm the Room is a program that is involved in a life coaching program called School of Self-Image that I'm working through right now. So daily habits, if you're wondering what that looks like in comparison to my weekly habits, my daily habits were to use my water drops, to drink lots of water, because I want to do that every day, to jade roll, to listen to my Shine app on my commute, to play music to make my house feel more intentional, and to light a candle or put my diffuser on, something along those lines. So I'm going to share with you some examples of my pages from the past. You've seen my current ones and some from some of you guys before I set you free to be able to start working on your own. So you can see here on the left, it was things that needed to get done. On the right was more professional. So really it kind of fluctuates depending on what's happening in my life. And that at the bottom, I was really trying to focus on my morning rituals. This one on the left, I was definitely trying to feel the fall vibes and think of it in a little more playful way. And on the right, also kind of leading into some of those seasonal things to really luxuriate in September, October. This is when I started a new job. Once again, learning payroll, doing all these kinds of things, a little more professional. On the right, trying to balance some fun things, seasonal things with some of those hard things. And you can see that I don't necessarily fill out every single habit. If I'm doing well, I might add to. If I'm not doing well, I take it away. And you know what? Sometimes I need to do the YOU turn because sometimes I do really well, something changes, and then I don't. Definitely trying the daily rituals. Well, Cheyenne, I did 10 yesterday, so don't feel bad. Clarice, I love stickers and washi tape. For me, it makes me feel more motivated. YOU instead of a U turn like in the road, a me turn, YOU turn. Any moment is a good moment to change those habits. We don't need to start at a new year. We don't need to start at a new day or even a new month or a new week. Any moment we can make those changes. This one is not mine. One of you may have done this one here, and this is their example. They use 2 words in their describing and how they want to feel. You can see that they were looking at avoiding those mindless tasks, looking at their sleep schedule, their to-do list, and then some of those habits that they were trying to solidify. Another one of our facilitators is chiming in here now. 5 things to do and a countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is the way Jen does it. Sit outside 15 minutes, so 3 times, etc. Oh, Jeanette, thank you for letting me use your page. It's absolutely so much prettier than mine. So much prettier. And then I love the colors and the stencils on this one. So this subscriber, she's probably here today as well. You can see she is making sure she gets her art journaling in here. I love that. You can tell she's someone who's very creative. And they're using all these different ways. And it doesn't have to look one way. This is what excites her, and that's awesome. So that's her vibe. I usually have a more simplistic taste, and that's okay too. Sometimes when I sit in these weekly setups, mine literally just paper to pen, and that is all. We do have a lot of facilitators here tonight. All right. Here's someone else's gorgeous one here. I love the way they had these big, beautiful stickers. Courageous and present, getting their morning routine trials, cooking 2 dishes, maybe they're new ones. Be nice to myself. See, it doesn't have to necessarily be something concrete. Do something creative, eat healthy. I'm really curious at what close my rings were. Get outside, finish a book. Oh, Rochelle, can you tell us about the close my rings? I'm so curious about that one. Oh, on the Apple Watch. I just told my husband this week I want one. I've been using a Polar Flow for running, and I'm not running right now, so I'm ready to upgrade to an Apple Watch. So I am going to put a list of habits if you are needing a little inspiration up. I'm going to put some music on. I'm going to let you guys fill out the page. If you're repurposing, let us know how. We love hearing your wonderful new ideas. If you got something, just put it all out there. We're curious. We are nosy people here at Silk and Saunders, or at least I am. Maybe some of the other facilitators are too, because I just love getting your good ideas. Okay, without further ado, I'm going to turn the camera off and put some music on. All right, friends, let's get digging into the next section. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the song. I have to admit that I really didn't understand what that song was about until I was very much older. I feel like my history teacher should have taken advantage of that in high school, but anyways. So we're going to go ahead and look into the meal plan section. Now, a lot of people don't like to use it as a meal plan section. So here's some ideas that may or may not work for you. A dream log, writing down your affirmations from the app. The Sonder app, I have an affirmation app that pops up several times, one that might actually resonate with you. You could write down quotes. Some of you are very literary and writers. Cutting in half to use some of it for a study plan. How they feel about what they ate. Someone was talking about food sensitivities. That might be something that it is that you do. 1 salad, 2 fruit, 3 water, meditations, senior animal pill care or tracking of medications and such, all of those things. Amber, it was about, it was a political thing. It was about when a lot of disruption and bombing and stuff was happening in Ireland, because that's an Irish band, if I'm not 100% sure, but if someone can chime in on that. The affirmation app that I use, I'll see if I can type it in the chat when you guys are working. I don't pay for it. I use the free one. Someone suggested in the Sonder Club, and so I ended up doing it. So this week I decided to do something a little bit different, and it came from one of you who said that after they do a meditation, they write about how they felt about it. And I thought that might be something that might hold me a little more accountable. So fingers crossed on that. I'll report back next week. I'll be attending. I'm not actually facilitating then. Oh, thank you, Kim. I am as the free affirmation app. Perfect. You guys are so good. Mind, body, health plan. Maybe some of you are talking about your Apple Watches and where you want to actually write down your steps. That could be a place that you do it. Though I know some people actually like to repurpose their expense tracker, and people like to keep track of their steps there as well. You know, there's not a right or wrong, just depends on what you're using your journal for. Self-care wins of what it was that was going well for you. Could be something thematic like meditation Monday, music Monday, maintenance Monday. Some people are really enjoying it. A reading tracker, cleaning schedule, those kinds of things. Oh, there we go. Here's the history of that cranberry song. I love you guys. You get me. You get me. Anyway, I'm going to show you what mine looks like this week. I love the Shine app, and on Mondays they always have a journaling component, kind of like the daily rituals. So Monday, that's what I'm going to do. Tuesday, I'm not going to cook. I'm going to get some takeout, and I'm going to do an early night in with a good book. Wednesday, I love to turn on some good music and have a dance party in the shower at 1. Thursday, I'm getting my hair done, so I won't have like 4 colors going on. It's been like a year. Friday, I'm going to sit down and work on that course that I spoke about. Saturday, I got a little facial steamer since I was so stuffed up when I got sick, but it's also great for the skin. So I'm going to do that. You can warm a little towel, and it's just nice. And then I'm going to micro needle and put some really good quality serum on my face on Sunday. Lee says that she used to make sure she's doing something self-care, leaves it blank to track it. I like that. Joanna, you can request a recording of this at hellosilkandsaunders.com if you need to catch up on what you missed with a toddler. Here's somebody else's. This is not mine. This is someone else's of how they did it. They kind of went with some music Monday, mask evening, hump day dress up. I like that. Even if you work from home, that's for you. Counseling, good for you. Audiobook Friday, such a good thing to do when you're cleaning the house and doing those types of things. Cleaning the house, grocery shopping, because you know what? Self-care is not just like the little, bubble baths. Food, prepping stuff, getting good food in your body is totally self-care. Prepping food for the week. Shopping. Sorry, guys. My throat's getting dry and I don't have a coffee fit like last week. Take a photo of it, put it on the fridge. Clothing you may want instead of purchasing now. That could be on your shopping list if you're working on a capsule wardrobe or the season change or a vacation. A packing list. what you actually have in the fridge so you don't forget and buy more, because I don't know how many bags of chia seeds I have at the moment. What you have available for easy meals. This was someone's idea. I thought it was brilliant. Someone else put their subscriptions or bills coming out of their account. And that's a really good way to be able to hold yourself accountable and make sure you don't actually overdraw, right? Smart. This one's mine. And so I wrote down some of the things I need to purchase for the cooking social. And then I belong to a Facebook group, and they were talking about a watch list of things like YouTube on fashion, like high fashion and stuff. And I didn't want to forget it. So I wrote it down here so that next time I'm cooking dinner or something like that, and I don't feel like doing a Pilates observation, I can watch something on high fashion instead. I'm loving, I didn't take a screenshot of this one. For me right now, I am absolutely loving a new author. It's total fluff, just perfect for when you're going to bed. Afternoon tea at the Sunflower Cafe. And then I'm going to show you some other examples. Here's somebody's, if it's your speak up, they're doing their school list here. They got their affirmations, they're putting something pretty in the middle, and they're loving their mindfulness. Here's another one. Obviously, that left-hand column is like planning out their weightlifting routine. And the other looks like she's filling in as her week goes. Oh, Cheyenne, thank you for letting me use it. It looks really good. This one, it looks like they are like recording some medical data here. And that's awesome, because when you have something written to take to your doctors, it really is helpful. I'll use my habit trackers for migraine trackers and take it in, or mood trackers, those types of things. What felt good today? Yeah, let's relish the things that are good. Rochelle, thank you for letting me use this. She's loving time for herself, and she's putting her vision board together, and she's cooking something new and watching something new. She is living the good life right about here. Then here's some of mine from the past. On the left, I was doing doodling or lettering. I was trying to look at where it was that I needed for self-care, that rest came up, and that capsule wardrobe. On the right, I was doing a little decluttering and making relationships of things that I want to do for my husband or someone. It's just my husband. I mean, besides that, chihuahuas. So, you know, but it could be for your kids, it could be for your students, whatever. And then my shopping list when I need to change my skincare when the season changed. On the left, I actually used this when I was doing a smoothie challenge. Actually, I lied. This one was a soup challenge. Loved it. Used it for a real shopping list. I tried to do a deep dream log on the right. Didn't work for me. I don't remember my dreams. Also on the right, I tried to break it down into the types of rest: physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, social, sensory, and creative. And then things that I wanted to buy later instead of purchasing them now. So those are some of the ways that I've used them. This was in November, so I wanted to do gratitude here. And things that I wanted to buy for myself for the holidays. Oh, Sam, go drink your smoothie. I like my smoothies actually warmer than cold. And then I've never actually shared this before with you guys, but some of you have asked how we use our actual weekly spread. And so because I am a fitness instructor and I do have a lot of classes in privates, I actually got some washi tape that has the hours. Now, this would be better for Katie than for me because she knows military time. I have to count it out. There are some that aren't. I just didn't realize this wasn't one of them when I got it. And so I write down my appointments, and then up on the one thing, someone at one of the socials talked about how there's like daily holidays. And so I get a little email about it. And so like hot chocolate days, Monday, New Year's, Chinese New Year's Tuesday, it's California Kiwi Day on Wednesday. Thursday is doggy date night. I think I snuggle with them. And then Friday is World Cancer Day. And so that's how I kind of is that I looked at it. Washi tape, Lila, I got it off of Amazon. Oh yes, Katie, military healthcare, anybody besides, you know, a teacher / fitness professional. And then if you are curious about on the left-hand side, what this says, I love this quote. I used my little tiny printer and made a sticker and printed it out. It says, "My darling, it's true. Beautiful things have dents and scratches too." And I loved it. So that's how I kind of set up my week. I'm going to give you some time to be able to share yours. Turn my camera off, get you some music going. Welcome back, everybody. If you're still writing, go ahead and write away. That was Enjoy the Silence by Depeche Mode. I'm trying to look. It looks like Sarah that Malika answered that it was supposed to be something to achieve that day linked with your purpose or the goal that you have. That's really good to know. She would know since her sister is the founder. So take that, absolutely her word over mine. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that you guys were really curious about. Repurposing the mind body health for, I like how Amber's doing upcoming bills. Other people you can use that section the same way you use the meal plan. Any of the repurposing there would work perfectly fine there as well. And it's okay to leave something blank too. It's not a big deal. I really do want to encourage you to share this and to your weekly, I'm not into the weekly, into the app. As you can see, it was valuable for others to see the work that some of you had done and have it featured here. And not everybody's able to attend the socials. So it's a really awesome way to be able to connect. Usually in the app, there are sections for your pages. This doesn't happen to be one of them. And so I'm going to be looking tonight and taking screenshots for the next time I do a weekly setup for you guys. So really love seeing it, and I know that others do as well. Oh, Tiffany, I'm sorry about the breast cancer, but that is a brilliant way to write how it messes with you for that day. That's brilliant. I love it. I'm sorry you're having to deal with that though, but that's a smart way of having some place that you're able to track everything. So just like I talked about before about the app, if you're not on the app, you don't have to be on the app. It is a supplement to the journal. The journal itself can stand alone, but if you really like engaging with community, this would be awesome. You just hover that camera over the QR code, let it pop up, and you can download it right then and there. But yeah, we love seeing those pictures on Sonder Club. And then, just as we always talk about, if this is your first social, you're going to hear this every single time. We absolutely want to know what you think of the socials, what was helpful, what was not as helpful. We read this feedback, they send it to us every week, and it allows us to be able to make our socials better. They look at the feedback to be able to create new socials that will really resonate with you guys as well. And we're going to have a brainstorming session on Wednesday. We already started brainstorming, and I'm really excited about some new types of socials that are going to be coming up. Well, yes, and if some of you are really wanting a Zoom conference, and we definitely have expressed that, whatever you want to do, I know you're going to be in that chat already saying put it in there. That's absolutely fine too. And I thank you guys for spending your afternoon with me. Hopefully you're able to find something that worked for you today. Maybe one thing did, one thing didn't. Remember, this is your journey. There's no right or wrong way. And if something doesn't resonate with you, go to that color page. Nothing wrong with that. Well, thank you, Sonder fam. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. And I'll take us out with a little pink.
I know that I'm running out of time. I want it all. And I'm wishing they stop trying to turn me off. I want it all. And I'm walking on a wire, trying to go higher. Feels like I'm surrounded by clowns and liars. Even when I give it all away, I want it all. We came here to run, run, run. We came here to run, run. Just like fire, burning up the way. If I could light the world up for just one day, watch this madness, colorful charade. No one can be just like me anyway. Just like magic, I'll be flying free. I'ma disappear when they come for me. I kick that ceiling, what you gonna say? No one can be just like me anyway. Just like fire. And people like to laugh at you 'cause they are all the same. See, I would rather we just go a different way than play the game. And no matter the weather, we can do it better. You and me together forever and ever. We don't have to worry about a thing, about a thing. No. We came here to run, yeah. Run, We came here to run, run, just like fire, burning up the way. If I could light the world up for just one day, watch this madness, colorful charade. No one can be just like me anyway. Just like magic, I'll be flying free. I'ma disappear when they come for me. I kick that ceiling, what you gonna say? No one can be just like me anyway. Just like fire, fire, run. We came here to run,
can light the world up for just one day. Watch this madness, colorful charade. No one can be just like me anyway. Just like